Hello everyone, this is Afif and welcome back to USchool. Today I've got an interesting Python hack to share with you, especially if you are using Gmail in a Google Workspace environment. Here is the scenario. I have set up a third-party archiving solution for my Gmail account within the Google Workspace. The goal was simple. Whenever an email arrives in my Workspace account, I wanted a copy of it in my custom archiving system for later processing or any other tasks. However, as I was configuring this solution, I noticed something peculiar. The emails I received in my archiving system weren't identical to the ones in my inbox. They were wrapped with additional information, and the actual message was tucked inside as a content type message/rfc822. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to extract the original email from this kind of setup. Before we dive into the solution, let's briefly discuss the problem. According to Gmail's documentation, when Gmail sends emails to third-party archiving solutions, it encapsulates them with an original message using the message/rfc822 content type. This serves two primary purposes. One, the encapsulation ensures the integrity of the original email, preserving its headers, body, and attachments for complete archiving. Two, Gmail can add metadata or notes to the encapsulated email, offering context for archiving or compliance purposes. Now that we understand why this happens, let's explore how to solve the problem. To access the original email, you essentially have three options. Option 1 is to use Gmail API directly. So if you need more control over the archiving process, consider using the Gmail API. It allows you to retrieve emails in various formats, including the raw MIME format, bypassing encapsulation. Option 2 is to explore third-party archiving solutions. Some of the shelf archiving solutions offer settings to control the level of encapsulation. You have to check your solution's configuration options to see if you can adjust the format of received emails. Option 3 is to parse emails programmatically, and in this video we'll focus on this option. I'll demonstrate how to use Python to parse the received email and extract the original message from the message/rfc822 content type. So without further ado, let's jump into the code and see how to tackle this challenge programmatically. Let's get started. So today I am going to look at this email message. Let's just open it up. So you notice this is an email file .iml extension that I receive from my email parser which I have written. So what happens is I have a Google Enterprise account and I have hooked up a third-party solution to that Google Enterprise account as an archiving solution. So whenever a email comes into my Google account, it is also forwarded to my third-party archiving system, and then ultimately it arrives into my email parser, and then an EML file is generated of the contents of the email. But when I did that, I realized that the email that is being returned to me is not the actual email. The actual email is this one. So you notice the difference between the two. The original email was from Google Workspace, and it was sent to this email address. This was the subject and this was the content, as you can see. While the email that I received was from this email address, it was sent to this email address, which is not accurate. So when I looked at the email in detail, I realized that my email is somewhere inside like this forwarded message.eml, and it has all the actual details of the original email. So I don't want the outer information, I just want the actual email that was sent. So I started looking at on the internet for options, and then also I started looking at this file as text. I have this file available to me right here, and so here interesting thing is that we have some headers at the top, and then you notice this thing, content type with a boundary, right? It mentions a boundary over here, and then this is the start of the boundary. This is one boundary, it starts from here, ends here. Another boundary starts from here and then ends somewhere at the end, right? So I am interested in this part. So when I started looking at this .eml file, I noticed the content types of different parts of the email message, and I realized the message that I was interested in, the whole message that was encapsulated, was marked as content type message rfc822. So this is the message that I want, and I don't want these two lines and nor the lines above it. I just want the email from here to the end. So how do I read this information in Python project? So for that, let's go to the editor and see how to get that information out of this message. So I have my editor opened here, and what I want to do is to write a very small piece to parse the actual email from this EML file. So let's start. I'm going to obviously start with the definition, and then I'm going to add the path where my file resides, and I know the path exists, so I don't need that. Then I have to write a function, and I will pass the path, which I don't really need to. I can just define that inside. Let's just call it main, and let's just define this function here at the top. So I have the folder where my file exists, and then actually I can just pass the name, complete path. Message EML file is this, and then I open this file like EML file. EML file, and the mode is reading mode. Don't want to mention the encoding right now, and let's have a file pointer, and then for the actual message I can have email message is equal to email dot message from file. This is a handy shortcut mentioned in the email package, and just pass the pointer to it. I want to mention the class that I want to use to read the message, which is email message. I will import this in a bit, and the policy needs to be the default policy. Right, so let's just import this message and import policy also. So, and ignore, because this is returning a message of type a type message, but we are expecting the message to be email message of type. So I have to ignore this inspection. I already know that it will return the correct type. So we will get the message from the file. It will be read over here, and then we have to parse for the content. So for the content, the first thing that we need to realize is that we need to check if the message has a boundary. If it's a multi-part message, it should have boundary, and we need to check for that. So let's check for the boundary. How do we check? Boundary equals message dot get boundary, and I don't want to pass anything to it. Let's just check if the boundary is not found and don't return anything. Otherwise, check for the parts in the message, and for checking the individual parts, because the email is a multi-part message that we are currently working with. So we have to walk through all of the parts and reach the part which we are interested in, and that part is actually this one. So we are looking at the content type that matches rfc822. This is the one that we are interested in. So let's start walking through the message and see if the part content type matches the content type we are interested in. Message /rfc822, this is the one we want, and if this matches, then we need to get all of the content of this part. Once we got the content, we'll try to write that content down to a file, right? So at this point we should have the content available to us, and then we should just be able to write it on a different file. Let's define the content at the top, and then if we have let's say if we have content, then write the content to a new file. So to do that, we have to open up a new file, and I can just modify the name of the existing file, EML file. Actually I don't want this extension, so I'll just copy the whole thing. Oops. So here's the name of the file, and we want to say original.eml and tab. So we have opened up this file, and then we can say generator equals bytes generator, and we can pass that into that generator, and we can say generator.flatten, And content, we don't want to flatten the whole message, we just want to flatten the content, which is the original email. Let's just check quickly what's the problem here. Expects 2 blank lines, right? So this is all we need to do. I hope so. Let's try running the current file and see if it does the right thing. So it has finished and we have a modified message. Let's just click on it and see if we can read it. As you can see, we no longer have the modified message. So just to make sure, let's open it up again. And now we see that we have the original email available to us, and we can read the attributes of this email, like who sent it, where it was sent, what was the subject, any CC, BCC or any attachments to this email should also be available to us. So this is what I wanted to show very quickly. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, do share, like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.